Welcome back to Project Zomboid. Shonda right now is staying at Smokey's, which is fun for me because this is the home of one of my other characters and one of my other saves. Oh, wait. Oh, and Smokey's is still locked. That's right. So Shonda managed to get into the upstairs apartment here, where she was able to spend the night, but she has not actually managed to get inside the proper restaurant. So our main goal right now is to try to... Oh, zombies. I really should not be out here at night. This is foolish. It's so hard to see zombies. Oh, get scrap electronics. Got some of this and some of that. Oh, dang. I was hoping this back door would be open, but it's not. I don't like... Oh, whoa. I don't like compromising the security of buildings that I might want to stay in. And so I don't want to break a window if I can help it. I mean, I guess... I'm still hearing zombies. I guess if I really wanted to secure this place later, I could always barricade it. Where was that? There it is. I'm trying to think of something relatively safe I can do while the sun is still down. So I guess I will smash a window. I'll smash this one. Remove broken glass. And hop in. Okay, so there could still be zombies in here, but lower chance than outside in the wild. So I'm going to quickly poke around. Here's the kitchen. Oh, they got flour. That's useful if I want to make some bread. Rotten bologna, but they got salt and pepper. That can be valuable. Salt especially, if necessary for certain things you want to cook. Got another counter over here. Sauce, I got a million saucepans, but hot mustard. Yeah, so we got soy sauce. I'll grab that. So we got a bunch of rotten food, which normally, if I was close to home, I would just grab all this rotten food and take it home and use it in my composter. But because I'm so far from home, did I hear a zombie? Because I'm so far from home, I've got limited cargo space. I actually just picked up a bunch of stuff from a warehouse, and I don't have a lot of room left for just random BS. So I don't want to just grab a whole bunch of things I don't need. Let's drink from the toilet. And sure, let's fill all of my empty bottles. Hopefully this will actually work properly. Okay. So now I can open these doors. Now, oh wait, there's going to be a bunch of booze over here. Thing is, booze is heavy. And I don't want to just carry a whole ton of it. So if I decide I need booze later, like for disinfectant and stuff, I guess if I think there's a chance I might get injured, I might want to grab some bourbon. But just one bottle of bourbon should be enough. I'm not going to try to load up on this stuff because what I need much more than booze is food. And so I want to leave room in my vehicle to collect that food. So let's put in the back anything else that I don't need to be carrying with me right now. And let's have some breakfast in the car. And then, once we've had our breakfast, we will head out. Oh, I was carrying more stuff than I remembered. Okay, here we go. We actually have less room in the back than we thought. But we're emptying out our backpack, or whatever this is, our duffel bag. I've still never found a large backpack for Shonda. And that makes me sad. Like, you can carry you have so much of a more fruitful exploring experience if you have a large backpack. Okay, the sun is starting to come up. So let's eat this stew, which is still good for some reason, days after I made it. Rainfall wants to make sure that I actually remembered to pick up the sledgehammer. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so this has only got a little bit of food in it left. I'm going to save it a little bit longer. Let me double check that I've got the sledgehammer. Pretty sure I do. Under tools, right? Tool/weapon? Sledgehammer. Yes, we do have the sledgehammer. So that's good. So now it's bright enough. I think we can start heading towards greens. And the sun should be fully up by the time we get to greens. So greens is... Where is it? I'm pretty sure it's this one. So I'm going to head down this way. So it means I'm going to pass this high school. I'm going to pass some yellow things. And then after that, it's going to be the green thing. So, cool. Start our engine and get going. And so our goal this episode is to load up on as much food as we can, get home safely, and then use that sledgehammer to construct ourselves a water filtration system. However, I do have an obligation. I've got someplace I got to go at 3 o'clock. So if we don't get all of that done in half an hour, we'll save it for a future episode. But I think I can at least get some food and get home to March Ridge in that time, even if I don't have time to build the actual filtration system. But let's see if I'm right about that. There is a discussion in the chat, I think, going on about like what the difference is between an injury and things causing injury, which is like, it's interesting because that really reminds me of some of the weird struggles we had with terminology when we were working on State of Decay 2, which is, what do we call it when a character has a discrete injury? It's like I have a twisted ankle, which is different from their health being low, which is different from their max health having taken a reduction from being wailed on by zombies while they were lying down on the ground. Those are three different things. We ended up calling, hit point loss damage. We called that sort of generic max hit point loss trauma, and we called, the individual things that happen to you that sort of also contribute trauma. We called those injuries, discrete injuries. But you have to be very careful with your terminology, because it's very easy. Like, if you've got a complicated health system, it's very easy to sort of create a terminology universe where players have trouble communicating with each other about what is going on. Using, like sometimes if you take a word that has an obvious meaning and you give it a very specific idiosyncratic meaning, then you're going to have players using the word in its generic sense all the time in conversations, and causing confusions with players who are taking it in its specific sense. Okay. I didn't actually mean to turn off my engine. I meant to get out of the car. So we've got zombies, obviously, this being Project Zomboid. The question is, can I kill them all? So there are some ways you can approach this game where your goal is not to create a bubble of safety. Your goal is to get in and get out before the zombies kill you. Yay, I'm nimble now. I forgot what that does. And so that is a way I could have tried to do a smash and grab at greens. And just get inside quickly, let the zombies take their time catching up with me, and try to leave with as much food as I can. But my goal right now is to actually get as much food as I possibly can, because I'd like to... I need this character to last until her first harvest comes in her garden, which means lots of food. Now, we can always go back to the apartment complex in March Ridge, because we've only partially scavenged that place. But that place is dangerous. Of course, it's not like this place isn't dangerous, but it's always, always easier to fight zombies when you've got a lot of room to maneuver. And I would much rather fight them in a place like this, where I can run around and just get away from them anytime I want to a game where to an area where they could constantly corner me, the way that they can in an apartment hallway. Okay. Anybody else? Let's do a quick orbit around greens. Make sure there's nothing hiding in my fog of war. Oh, okay. There's some guys behind the fence. These fences are tough because they usually don't, like, they don't drop the fences so you can see behind them unless you're pretty close to them. But zombies are often clinging to these fences and just waiting for you to feel comfortable before they come after you. That's a nice jacket you got there. It's not in good shape. You've got a nice jacket too, though. That one's in slightly better shape. Oh, that one's in better shape, yes. Anyway, what was I doing? Yeah, I like this other jacket. I'm going to grab it. I'm also going to read this Louisville map just to keep fleshing out my Louisville, but I'm not going to keep it. Okay, so let's go run around back. Hey, nice pickup truck, by the way. Aha. Something is messing with the... I'm going to check the state of this pickup truck before I deal with whatever's going on over there. No gas in it. It's not in the best shape. It's not in the worst shape either. Okay, I can't open that. I guess I'll just let a zombie try to get out. In the meantime... And my main worry is just that these zombies are going to sneak up on me while I'm trying to load up on food. And when I'm loading up on food, I'm going to be making myself nice and tired. And I'm not going to want zombies bothering me after I'm loaded up with stuff. I am starting to get hungry. And I've basically run out of the food. I've got one more bite, basically, the food I brought with me. Now, I've got food that I'm planning to scavenge from this place. And that food is good, but it almost feels like if I eat the food I'm scavenging, it feels like I'm not even making a profit, you know? Like, I don't want to have to eat the food I'm scavenging. That makes me feel desperate. Okay, I do not want this zombie to sneak up on me. Again, just trying to time my blows so I'm swinging when two zombies are both easily within range. Okay, I'm getting exerted. So, just two more zombies, and hopefully, if nothing else crept up on greens while I was away, I should be in good shape. All right. Let's head back down there and see. Now, I'm really hoping that greens is actually untouched, because it's entirely possible that I have raided this place. It just isn't showing it yet. Like, maybe I didn't have to break a window to get in or something, and I left the door closed. Oh, another zombie. So because I'm exerted, I think you'll probably see that it takes me a lot more hits to take these zombies down. I love my crowbar because, yeah, it's almost dead, but it's still here. It's killed so many zombies on this trip. By the way, Shonda, this episode, I'm pretty sure just crossed over 1,000 zombie kills. So congratulations, Shonda. You deserve some beef, lentil, and bean stew as your prize. So we'll drop those off. And then, okay, so we still have a little bit of food in our pockets here. We got some pop and some granola bar. So let's see. There's definitely a zombie in there. These are like sliding doors. I think that... I don't know if these doors ever are unlocked. All right. Hopefully this is not very many zombies. If this was a lot of zombies, I would be freaking running away. But it looks like it's just the one. That's good. Oh, what the? Where did you come from? He might have been in the corner, or he could have come through the window after me. I'm really not sure. Okay, so lots of fresh food here that is rotten, but there's usually, yes, there's usually some canned stuff too. And that's what I came here for, was the canned stuff. The canned stuff and the ready-to-eat stuff, like the chips and tortilla chips. So all of this rotten stuff is actually really valuable. Like, you can completely fill up, just one trip to Greens, you completely fill up a composter and get all the compost and worms that you want. That's another, by the way, that's another value of the composter, is if you get it nice and full, it starts producing worms for you. They just magically appear, you know, like, what was that theory before evolution? Like, the one about how life just occurs spontaneously? It kind of works that way. You just end up with worms appearing out of the dirt. But that's fine. This game isn't meant to be an accurate, fully accurate simulation of reality. Okay, I've got enough stuff. I need to go drop it off in the back of the car. So, all of the things labeled food, except... Oh, there's a bunch. Oh, I got a bunch of stuff. Except for the stuff that I explicitly brought with me to eat right now. So, oh, wow, okay. That's it. We've hit the carrying capacity of the back of this car. So, we're going to have to start being very judicious about what we bring with us, because this is just, it's a lot. But that's fine. Now, we do have an option for trying to make things a little bit easier. We can load food into a sack or a garbage bag. Both of them are about equivalent in terms of their encumbrance reduction. So I'm going to bring this sack with me. I'm going to start loading food into that. Am I still exerted? Oh, because I've got kidney beans. All right. Yeah, so I can't put the kidney beans in the back, but I'll put the kidney beans in the sack. So I'm carrying this sack around now, which means it'll reduce the overall amount of encumbrance of the things inside of it, which means I can cram more of them into the car. So let's just grab a bunch of spicy stuff. Let's grab... Oh, okay, I'll save that for a second. Let's make sure... Drinks are less important to me than food. Drinks do have calories, but they don't really... and they're valuable because, you know, they also deal with your thirst and stuff like that. But they're not as filling as food. So I wanted to make sure that I got the food first. But yeah, looks like I did. So let's fill the sack with these guys. And I just avoided the water bottle because I realized I wanted to stick that in my proper backpack. But I think everything else that's out here, I am well overloaded now. I think almost everything else is going to be... Okay, here we go. Some more pop and soda here. Most of the rest of this stuff is going to be rotten stuff. Some more chips. That's cool. Chips are nice and light. But there's also stuff in the back. Oh, I'm thirsty. Do they have a sink back there? If not, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drink some orange soda. Orange soda is very heavy. It's also very calorie rich. So if I want to keep gaining weight, drinking a bunch of orange soda is a good idea. Airy Twitch suggests that actually maybe birds are causing the worms. Oh, you mean by being early? That makes sense. Let's see those empty bottles in my bag, and then let's get out this water bottle so I can keep drinking. And then let's see what else. Oh my gosh, we've got even more big, heavy things of dry food. I might actually not be able to carry the valuable stuff out of here. Let's see. Oh my gosh, so much canned stuff. Okay, yeah, my sack is full. So we're going to start filling my backpack. I mean, filling my duffel bag. Once my duffel bag is full, I think we're kind of done. I'm hoping that we can get all of this home. But, oh my gosh, there's so much. Okay, that's it for my backpack. I'm going to start putting it in my regular inventory. I can't leave things behind. Okay. We'll see if we can cram this into the passenger seat of the car. Oh, no, there's too much. There's too much. I'm going to have to leave some of this behind somewhere. I might be able to cram it into a garbage bag to make it a little smaller. But look at all this! I'm grabbing it all, but this is a bad plan. If a zombie is out there, I'm in big trouble for having this much crap on my person. But, at the very least, if I can't carry this all home, I'll be able to stick it all in one place to pick it up later. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, let's go, assuming there's no zombies outside, let's go put all of this canned goods type stuff in my car to the degree I can. And then, if I've got leftover stuff, we'll bring it back. We'll put it in a memorable place. Okay, so let's first put my sack. Wait, was I not filling? Okay, I was filling the sack. Okay, so put the sack in there. Yeah, the sack filled it up. So, okay. I'm taking damage from being overloaded. How fast can I get back to Muldrow? To get back to March Ridge? Okay, well, I can't at all if my engine won't start. Oh, that was creepy. Okay. I'm overloaded. It's sapping my health. But maybe I don't have the willpower to let go of this food. Maybe I'm like, you know, that concept for like a monkey trap where the monkey, it can squeeze its hand into a container where there's like a piece of food that it wants, but with the piece of food in its hand, it can't get the hand out of the container. And so it's the monkey's greed that traps the monkey because it's unwilling to let go of the food in order to get untrapped. I think I'm showing that I am that monkey. Like, this is a bad idea. Traveling into unknown territory with my health dropping because I'm desperately overloaded. I can't exit this car without being... Like, I can't drop things in the car to de-overload myself. So if I get trapped by zombies or something, I have to get out while this overloaded, unable to move. This is the stupidest plan. But I can't leave food behind in Muldrow. That's inconvenient. So there we go. I guess, yeah, maybe this will affect people's bets about whether or not Shonda's going to make it out of this unscathed. I mean, she's definitely scathed this way. I'm pretty sure the bet being about injuries, I would assume that means it's about things that show up in the health here. As injured, like I was attacked by a zombie and was injured. I assumed that was what Coalition was talking about when he set up the bet. Like, I am injured right now, sort of, if you want to use that term, because I'm, but my health is being reduced by my overweight carrying capacity. I think that's distinct from getting injured. I think when people probably made the bet originally, they were thinking about, will I get scratched by a zombie? Will we get bitten by a zombie? And I almost did. That one zombie that I kept just, for whatever reason, missing with my swings, and it kept getting close and grabbing me, and you could see it starting to do a bite animation. I genuinely don't know if it was me running from that zombie at the last second and breaking its animation, or if it was just luck and I just had clothing that protected me. So I got pretty decent protective clothing on. I don't know what saved me. But yeah. So, let's see here. So, Coalition says that he wants me to select the Moodle that looks like a broken bone. I don't have one right now. I think that if this extends past very minor damage, I might get one. But right now I don't have one. It could be that sitting in a car actually doesn't count as being overloaded. Like, maybe I'm recovering from that health loss because I'm sitting in a car right now. Let's eat this granola bar so that I don't get hungry on the way home. That does raise my carrying capacity a little bit, but it's not by enough. Being full makes you be able to carry more. It's not really that useful. I mean, I guess it can help you short term if you like are just trying to get to a place where you can drop something off. But typically, the sort of the full moodles, the satiated moodle, it doesn't last long enough to really let you carry something from one place to another. So the fact that it raises your carrying capacity, I mean, it can counteract negative effects in your carrying capacity, so that's okay, I guess. But like, yeah, it feels like carrying and eating enough food to actually consistently have a higher carrying capacity feels like it's not a thing you could do. Not really. So I think the way this works, Coalición, is that when you have an injury, a discrete injury in here, particularly if you're bleeding, that will start lowering this health meter. And this health meter drives the moodles. Basically, if you get the little broken bone moodle up here, what that means is there's 4 stages of it, and each stage represents you losing around like 25% of your health. So, so if you get down to 75%, then you get the first one. If you get down to 50%, you get the next one. 25%, then you get the next one. And then if you get close to 0, I think you get the last one. And so all that moodle does is it represents this meter going down. And it gives you consequences for this meter going down. But it doesn't represent having discrete injuries in the health section, in the health menu. Because you can have discrete injuries that are well bandaged, and your health could climb enough, or like either you bandage them quickly enough or you've started healing enough that your health isn't low enough to show an injury up here. So you can have a real injury listed here and not have the injury moodle up here. And similarly, you can have that injury moodle up there because being overloaded lowered your health without having any specific injuries in this slot. So they really are two different concepts, how it's going. So, all right, we're almost home. We've almost made it. And good timing. I've got about 10 minutes left before I got to be somewhere else. So I think we've got enough time to at least see if there are zombies around my house. If there are, I'm in trouble. If there are no zombies around my house, which is what I'm hoping, and there's this guy. Hopefully he doesn't follow me too far. At least I need to get inside and dump what is currently in my inventory. If I just have time to do that, then I can take my time unloading everything else that's in the car. Oh, I'm freaked out that my back door is open, though I clearly left it there. Okay, so now that I'm walking, I think my health is going to start lowering again. So let's get to where I store my food as quickly as I can. So, okay, what do we got here? We've got for the dry food, and I don't know how I've divided this up. You know what? I'm just putting all the canned food in here. I'll worry about the organization later. Canned food goes in there. And then stuff that you just can eat straight without cooking it, that goes in here. And then the pasta, I think the pasta also goes... Pasta goes in there. So I'm throwing the pasta in there. And I'm still overloaded. Oh, because my backpack is overloaded with even more of the same stuff. Okay, here we go. So let's... A bunch of canned food goes in here. The condiments and spices and things go in a different place. Let's make this go a little faster. Yeah, condiments and spices go... Where do they go? They go here. So all of this stuff, I sort of count as that. I also put like raw ingredients for like stuff that I make myself. Also kind of goes in here. It's... the boundaries are a little weird. See... Discomfort. So this icon is called discomfort, and it says something doesn't feel right. So even though I had this moodle before, it does not say injury. So there you go. It's not injured, it's discomfort. Now I'm going to... You know what? I don't think anything in here is perishable. So I don't need to worry about the timing of getting this out. I can do this on my own time later on without making you watch me try to organize all of this garbage. But the thing that is interesting, I think, is the question of will I survive this zombie suddenly being here? And then after we solve that problem, I'm so tired. After we solve this problem, the real question is, did anything show up in my traps? So let's find out. This trap? Check trap? Dead bird, fresh uncooked. I don't think we've done dead birds yet in this save. So we... Check trap? Another dead bird. So I can... Next time I'm going to leave town, I can reset those traps with bait. Let's have a look at this. Check trap. Dead rat! And, okay, so this trap not sprung, but something stole the bait. But this one was sprung. We caught 4 animals. Dead rat, dead mouse, and 2 dead birds. So now we have meat. We have meat. Shonda's dietary problems are coming to a close. I'm gonna... I guess I'll butcher them. Let's butcher them before we put them in the fridge. Dead bird turns into small bird meat. Dead mouse and dead rat turn into rodent meat. And we're going to stick those in the fridge. And actually, they're very small. Okay, so if they were larger, I'd say I'd put some of them in the freezer to make sure that they, lasted long enough. But I'm going to go through them pretty fast. So let's check on our generator real quick. 28%. Okay, cool. So it has not run out. So again, I keep forgetting to go and get an ice chest. So here's what I think we should probably do in our next episode. In between episodes, I'm going to go and organize all of the stuff we brought home, including that sledgehammer. I'll make sure I remember where that is. We're going to try to set up our filtration system, and then we're going to go and try to find ourselves an ice chest so that we can basically have a place for all of our food that we're trying to grow in our garden to land. And then basically at that point, what we're doing is having adventures with Shonda. Maybe Shonda should spend some time on mechanical stuff, learning about cars and things like that. In the meantime, while we're waiting to sort of get our first harvest and make sure that we have a self-sustaining base going on here. And if we do, I think once we get to that point where we're confident that Shonda can basically keep a process like that going long term, then I think maybe we'll take a break from Shonda and go make another character in a more dangerous situation with a more ambitious plan. So let me catch up with the chat a little bit, see what I've missed. Also, Twitch says, have you seen any features in this that you want in State of Decay? Specific features? I don't know. We're kind of coming at State of Decay from a slightly different angle. This is... I've said before that the reason I'm playing this game is more as like inspiration for what it is like to vibe with this game. To be playing this game and be sort of fulfilling the emotional fantasy of trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse. And I think that by sort of immersing myself in this game, which does a very good job of creating that with a highly detailed and kind of almost nerdy approach to survival. That will sort of give me sort of something, an emotional experience to compare to what we create in State of Decay. So it's not that State of Decay would be cribbing like specific features from this game. It's more that this game does such a good job of creating the fantasy of the zombie apocalypse that I should be familiar with the experience of playing this game when I'm then judging my own work over on State of Decay. Because State of Decay will come at it from a very different angle, but we want it to have a similar kind of emotional resonance. And so that's more what I'm doing. Rather than sort of looking at precise mechanics, I'm looking at the emotional resonance. Let's see here. I'm just going to try to catch up. So, yeah. Airy Twitch is like, GG, animal protein. Here we go. Oh, interesting. So, it looks like... Okay, so... Coalition is I have not been keeping up with the drama around people betting on whether or not I was going to be injured. So I don't know exactly what happened. It sounds like Coalition is making good for some people who I think maybe lost a bet that they should have won or something like that. So good on you, Coalition, for making things work and working with folks. I don't know if we necessarily need to have a bet every episode. It could be that sometimes, like there are really special episodes, like the Echo Weapons run that was amazing yesterday that we just did in State of Decay 2. Where we definitely like the whole point of why the episode is fun is because there's a bet. But I think maybe we might not need to sort of like force one every episode, because I think that sometimes we could get into areas where it's like, oh, did he succeed? Did he not? Did he get too many hints? Was it fair? It's so easy to sort of get into those weird gray zones that it might actually in some cases be less fun for people to have the bet going than it might counterbalance the fun. That's the thing you have to think about a lot as a game developer. It's like sometimes there's a feature that a lot of people want, that some people are like really excited about, but adding that feature to the experience will have a downside for somebody else, and it might even be fewer people that have the downside. But you could still sometimes make a judgment call that like messing up the experience for one person is not worth entertaining another person. And I'm not saying that that's exactly the situation we have here, but it made me think about that it's like that's something that you kind of have to I was pitching a feature just yesterday that I will not give you any details about, that had that same kind of thing where it's like it's a really cool feature for a certain part of the audience, but somebody very rightly brought up, but what about me? I don't think I would enjoy that. I think I'd be stressed out by that. Can I play the game without it? Is there a way for me to work around that feature? And hearing that, I was like, oh, you know what? I really like this feature. I think this feature is really important. It could be like really fundamental. But yeah, I could totally imagine somebody loving everything else about this game and being driven off by this one feature. Maybe there is a way we can work it into the difficulty system or something and make it not be a thing that everyone has to deal with. And that's the thing you really have to think about a lot of the time. Let's see here. Yeah, so Gamer Neko-chan points out that a lot of these survival games, they really focus on like highly detailed crafting systems and things like that, to the point where a lot of the stuff becomes so standard people expect it from zombie games, and that can be a challenge because with State of Decay, part of what works about the game for a lot of our audience is that it's such an action game, on at least on one level. Even though there is base building stuff in the background, we're at a different place on the balancing scale from other zombie games, and so that's a feature for a lot of folks. And so while I think that there is a lot of good stuff to be learned from the crafting system here, and I would love to do more of a crafting system in a State of Decay game at some point, it's a questionable decision if we were to do that, because it would change the game, and there could be players for whom getting into that kind of detailed crafting is not a thing that makes the game more fun. So also Twitch Team wonders if Project Zomboid has hazmat suits. I don't know. They have firefighter outfits. So that might be that's the closest thing that I've seen so far, but who knows. Anyway, I'm out of time. I've got to go. Thank you all for hanging out with me. If you're watching this later on YouTube, that will be a subscribe button. These will be links to other videos. And the next time I play with Shonda, that'll be here. And hopefully we'll actually get that filtration system up and running, and the other thing that I said earlier.